Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Everything MTG. My name is Justin, and today is something day of spoiler season, so we're going to be covering the newest batch of spoilers. We're going to jump right into it. I'm actually going to start with the last Ravnica Mythic Edition card that they came out with. These are uh, the $250 pack of, I think it's 8 Planeswalkers. They're full art. They're from some of the older Planeswalkers. They're some of the newer Planeswalkers. In my opinion, it's way too expensive. It's super cool though, and I still don't understand if you get a playset of them or not, because it says it's like 8 packs with all these cards in them, or like 6 packs with all these cards in them, or something like that. So to me, that sounds like it's going to be a playset of each, which for 250 bucks, I guess would be worth it. But then you got to imagine people are just going to sell the other 3. They'll just keep one, so you could probably buy them online super cheap. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to pan out. Anyways, it's Vraska Golgari Queen. We already covered this the other day. It's the exact same card. It's 2, a black and a green for a 4 loyalty Vraska Planeswalker. +2, you can sacrifice another permanent. If you do, you gain 1 life, draw 1 card. -3, destroy target non-land permanent with CMC 3 or less. And -9, you get an emblem with. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. The difference here is it's a full art card, and it is also an alternate art card from her original printing that will be in Guilds of Ravnica. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the regular spoilers. As before, some of these are in a foreign language, so I'll be reading you the text here, and I'll pop the card up for you guys to see. Some of them are also not the best quality, so keep that in mind. Our first card is, make sure I'm on the right part here. Nope, skipped one. Okay, let me turn my head to the side here so I can read these. These are so annoying to read. Integrity and Intervention. So Integrity is a hybrid red or white instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And Intervention is 2, a red and a white for an instant. Intervention deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Not too bad. The +2/+2 for 1 red, 1 white, it's just kind of, it's just not, it's not very good. I mean, it's combat trick, but like in red white, it's so weird to see that. The 2, a red and a white, to deal 3 damage to any target, including a player or a planeswalker, and gaining 3 life is pretty good, but for 4, that kind of sucks. Being able to play both of these for 5, though, is really nice. So, you know, it's got some uses. Our next card is Night Veil Predator. 2 blue, 2 black for a 3/3 vampire. It has flying, death touch, and hexproof. Now this might sound very familiar to Vampire Nighthawk, and that's because it is very familiar and similar to Vampire Nighthawk, except instead of lifelink and costing 3, it is hexproof and costs 4. Yeah, and Vampire Nighthawk is what? 2 black and 1? Just black, black and 2 or whatever. Yeah, so the art looks pretty cool though, and I'm always happy to have another, Vampire Nighthawk-ish vampire. So very happy to see that. We have Erratic Cyclops, which is 3 and a red for a 0/8 Cyclops Shaman with Trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Erratic Cyclops gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X is that spell's CMC. This card could easily be very, very powerful. A 0/8 for 4, first of all, removing this thing unless you're using a direct kill spell is going to be ridiculously hard. The fact that it has trample, and if you're playing around it using things like intervention, making this a 4/8 with trample is pretty ridiculous. So I like that card. Our next card is Conclave Guildmage, which is 1 green and 1 white for a 2/2 elf cleric. Again, more elves. You can pay green, tap it. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. You can pay 5 and a white, tap it. Create a 2/2 green and white elf knight creature token with vigilance. I really like this card. 2/2 for 2 is already not bad. The fact that you can pay 1 green and tap this to give all of your creatures trample is utterly ridiculous. Playing this card in a green-white, maybe Erebos tokens deck for commander would be amazing. So this card is freaking tops. You can also play this in an elf deck, green-white elf deck, I suppose. Like Risk the Redeemed, I think is green-white. This would be really good, and it's right on flavor as an elf. So it's pretty sweet, and it makes tokens, elf tokens anyways, as well. Good card. We have Centaur Mediator, which is 1 a green and a white. When it enters the battlefield, each player gains 4 life. This card is a 3/3, so it's 3/3 for 3 and gives everybody 4 life. I don't really like that. I hate giving my opponents value, especially life, and it's basically the equivalent of a bear, 2/2 for 2. This is a 3/3 for 3, but it has what I would consider a downside, because if you're playing a commander game, say, you're giving 3 other players 4 life and only you're gaining 4 life and getting a 3/3 for 3, so that's pretty bad. Next card is Price of Fame, 3 and a black for an instant. This spell costs 2 colorless less to cast if it targets a legendary creature, destroy target creature, and surveil 2. So this could, I mean, we're continuing right on the train with like Assassin's Trophy, an amazing removal spell. This is something I would possibly play in Commander, because if you're targeting a commander with this, it's a 2-drop kill spell with, I mean, basically Scry too. So that's pretty amazing. They're printing some pretty good removal cards in this set. Truefire Captain is double red, double white for a human knight, 4/3. Whenever Truefire Captain is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. Kind of like Saskia, but in reverse. So that's really not bad. I mean, double red, double white, though, kind of sucks. That's pretty heavy on those 2 colors. And, you know, it's going to be hard to play that. But a 4/3, and whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much to target player is pretty good. We have League Guild Mage, 1 blue, 1 red for a 2/2 human wizard. 3 and a blue, tap it, draw a card. X and red, tap it. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control with CMC cost X. You may choose new targets for the copy. We've seen other cards like this before. I can't name them, but I do play some of them, or I have played some of them. They can be okay. The downside is you have to pay the red and X and tap it to copy your target instant or sorcery spell. So you're paying for the spell twice, and then you're having to pay red on top of it and tap this creature to double that spell. It's almost just not worth it, you know. So that's it's all right. The 3 blue and tap to draw a card is okay. Overall, it's just not that great of a card. Next card is Mission Briefing, double blue for an instant. Surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. I think this is a pretty good card. For double blue, add instant speed, you can Surveil 2, possibly ditch a really good instant or sorcery into your graveyard, and then cast that card from your graveyard, or any other card that you might have in there you want to play. You know, an instant speed removal spell or something in there, somebody's swinging on you, there you go. It's kind of like Torrential Gearhulk almost, so that's pretty cool. We have Darkblade Agent, 1, a blue and a black for a 2/3 human assassin. This art looks pretty sweet, actually. As long as you've surveilled this turn, Darkblade Agent has Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So this is right on theme with the Surveil mechanic. A lot of different cards in this set are playing off the Surveil mechanic. Like, if every time you Surveil for the first time each turn, you draw a card, or whatever this, or whatever that. So that's going right along with that. You can probably create a pretty good Surveil deck, honestly, or maybe soup up a nice commander deck with a lot of Surveil stuff after all these cards are spoiled. Of course, we have a Sphinx, City Watch Sphinx, 5 and blue, 5/4, with flying. When it dies, Surveil 2. This is your typical fat creature that does like some sort of what I would consider mostly negligible effect. So you could play this as your bomb in Limited, but I wouldn't play this anywhere else. Thoughtbound Phantasm is 1 blue for a 2/2 spirit with Defender. Whenever you Surveil, you can put a 1/1 counter on it. Well, it's not even a you can. You have to put a 1/1 counter on it. As long as it has 3 or more 1/1 counters on it, it can attack as though it did not have Defender. Good card. I mean, this can get big real quick, especially if you're playing around the Surveil mechanic, so it's pretty sweet. We have Doom Whisperer. Of course, a demon. There has to always be a demon. 3, 2 black for a 6/6 Nightmare Demon. Flying Trample, you can pay 2 life and Surveil 2. This isn't too bad of a card, and I would love to have this card in Limited. 3 and 2 black for a 6/6 Flying Trampler, pay 2 life, Surveil 2 is super good. It is a mythic, though, so that probably won't be happening. I'd play this in. I'd play this somewhere. I mean, I'd find a deck to put this in, like a commander deck. Yeah, it would definitely play well in a surveil deck. I'm gonna save the next card for last because it's the card I'm most excited about in this entire set so far. So we're gonna skip right over to Legion Guildmage. Red and a white for a 2/2 human wizard. You can pay 5 and a red to tap it and deal 3 damage to each opponent, or you can pay 2 and a white to tap it and tap another target creature. Typical Boros. Um, it's so expensive to pay 5 and 1 to deal 3 damage to each opponent. That is a good effect, though. And the tapping another target creature is almost a complete waste. So a lot of these guild mages aren't very good. I think I've only liked one of them so far. I can't remember which one it was. It did something crazy. Scroll back down and see if I can find it really quick. Conclave Guild Mage and House Guild Mage. Yeah, I think those are the only two I like so far. So scrolling back up here, we have Garrison Sergeant, 3 red and a white for a 3/3 Viashino soldier. He has double strike as long as you control a gate. That's not great. I mean, he was a 3/3 for 5, and you have to control a gate to get double strike. That's pretty terrible. We have Wojak Bodyguard, which is 2 and a red for a 3/3 human soldier with Mentor, and he can't attack or block alone. That's also terrible. It's like the round of like terrible cards that they have to print in every set.
Yeah, but with Mentor, you have to.
With Mentor, yeah, you do want to attack with something else. Let's see. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. So you'd have to swing with something lesser power, though. I don't know. I don't like it. Glowspore Shaman is a black and a green for a 3/1 Elf Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. You may put a land card from your graveyard on top of your library. That seems bad.
I don't like mill cards.
Yeah, self-mill, that's not that great. If it put the land in your hand or on the field, I think it'd be better, but putting it on top of your library is kind of like, why? You're stacking your next turn as a land. I mean, unless you really need it. That seems bad. Yeah, Surveil. Sky Knight Legionnaire is 1, a red and a white for a 2/2 human knight with flying and haste. That's not bad. I'd play that in limited. 2/2 flying haster for 3. It's pretty good. Of course, we have our angels. This is in a foreign language, and it does not have the name of this creature. This obviously is Aurelia, but I don't know if it's like Aurelia of the Awesome Swords or something like that. They don't have the name. So it's 2, a red and a white for a legendary angel with flying and mentor. It's a 2/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may target up to 1 creature you control. That creature gets +2/+0 and gains trample if it's red and vigilance if it's white. Yeah, you could target herself, so she could potentially be a 4/5 with trample and vigilance and flying and mentor. So she definitely has some applications. I'm not sure how much I'm feeling that though. She's 2/5, hard to remove, but she can't really block and kill anything. So flying is good though. The mentor is pretty good if you're gonna be like going wide maybe and swinging with a bunch of creatures.
Lesser power, so you pump her up to 4, and then.
Right, yeah. You could keep pumping her up with her ability to get the mentor effect on something with 3 or less, right? We have Okran Assassin, 1 black and a green for a 1/1 Elf Assassin with Death Touch. All creatures able to block Okran Assassin do so. I think that's a good card. Yeah, that's a certain level of removal. Bless you. Amanda's sneezing over here. She's got a bit of a head cold. I think that's pretty good. In any deck. I mean, it's unfortunate if they have to like triple block or something because you're only going to be able to kill 1 because it's a 1/1. You can only assign 1 damage, but you can pick which one of the 3 you want to kill, and it makes them block with like flyers. Like Emrakul would, if you're playing Commander, Emrakul would have to block this, and it would die. So it could be super stupid, and I like that. And in limited, I think this would be really good too. So if they have some big fatty that's beating you down, you attack with this little 1/1, and they have to block with it. That's a good way of removal, in my opinion.
Unless they attacked and it's tapped and they can't block with it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they were smart, they would attack and then keep it tapped. So, but not everybody's smart. Knight of Autumn is our next card. 1, a green, and a white for a 2/1 Dryad Knight. When it enters the battlefield, choose one of these 3 modes. Put 2 1/1 counters on it, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or gain 4 life. So it's a 3-drop. It can come in and immediately be a 4/3, or it can destroy an artifact or enchantment, or you can gain 4 life off of it.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think that is a really good card.
What color is it? The blue?
It's green-white. Yeah, not bad. You could put that in, is Erebos green-white?
Yeah.
You could put that in Erebos. It's a Dryad, though. Affectionate Indrik is 5 and a green for a 4/4 beast. When Affectionate Indrik enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature you do not control. Not good.
Typical green fight creature.
Yeah, typical green fight creature, except it's a 4/4 for 6.
Ooh.
And the only thing it does is fights a creature when it comes in. Pretty bad.
Remove the spell, not good.
Yeah, this card is really good, though. Venerated Loxodon. 4 and a white for a 4/4 Elephant Cleric with Convoke. When Venerated Loxodon enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature that convoked it. That's really good. So you can convoke up to 4 creatures on this thing, and each one of them will get a 1/1 counter.
It's 4 to white.
Yeah, it's 4 and a white, right? Yeah, so you could technically do 5. I mean, I usually don't convoke for the original cost, like the one white. But yeah, you could. You could convoke 5 and 5 1/1 counters. It's pretty good. Our second to last card here is Blood Operative. 1 double black for a 3/1 Vampire Assassin with lifelink. When Blood Operative enters the battlefield, you may exile target card from a graveyard. Whenever you surveil, if Blood Operative is in your graveyard, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return it to your hand.
Be better if it's the battlefield.
It would be better if it was the battlefield. I think this has applications in Limited, though. Like, if you play a little bit of a surveil mechanic, you can keep getting this 3/1 with lifelink out, exiling something out of their graveyard. He dies, you surveil, you get him back, you play him again. He's a 3/1. So he'll die to everything, but he'll kill most things. And you gain life every time you do it. So I could see him being pretty,
You have to lose life to get him back.
pretty good. Yeah, you have to lose the 3 life you would gain. So you just wouldn't go up or down. It's an interesting thing. Our very last card, as I mentioned, is one of the cards I am most excited for in this set, easily. It's Lazav the Multifarious. The original Lazav was pretty amazing. This Lazav is even more ridiculous. It's 1 blue and 1 black for a 1/3 legendary creature shapeshifter. So yes, this can be your commander, and it should be. When Lazav the Multifarious enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Then you can also pay X. Lazav the Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard, not any graveyard. In your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav the Multifarious. It's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has this ability. That's amazing.
Yeah, you can copy anything in your graveyard.
You could technically have something in your graveyard like an Emrakul and copy it because his name is still Lazav. Bring the Emrakul back on the field and have 2 Emrakuls.
Yeah.
Because they don't share the same name. That's ridiculous. Not to mention, he costs 2. I mean, this is a 2-drop commander, 1/3. So he's, he is removable. But he immediately comes in and has an effect. He surveils 1. He digs through your deck a little bit, and you ditch something in the yard. And this, well, you can. And this can be a creature. And the very next turn, or maybe even the same turn, you can pay X and then turn it into that creature that you ditched.
Will it pick up the same power and toughness too?
Should, yeah. It's, let's see, becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except it keeps its name, it's legendary, in addition to the other types, and it has this ability. So he can always keep switching to something else,
Toolbox.
Yeah, exactly. And in blue-black, oh man, that card is so good. Let me know, that's the last spoiler we have here, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Well, do you like Lazav or do you hate Lazav? I don't see how you could possibly hate Lazav because he's amazing. Let me know what you think about the Ravnica Mythic Edition, if you'll be picking that up. I know I won't be. I think I'm just going to wait and see if people sell the cards and pick and choose the ones that I want. Because $250 is utterly ridiculous. Maybe if it was $150 even. I think I would even go $150. Like a booster box and a half price. But 2 booster boxes and a half? That's ridiculous. I mean, that's utterly crazy. Anyways, guys, as always, I appreciate you keeping up with spoiler season with me, seeing these amazing cards coming out. We're currently at 124 out of 259, So we are just about halfway, ish, something like that. Anyways, leave a comment down below. I like interacting with you guys. Throw a like if you guys like the content. Subscribe if, you're into that sort of thing. And we'll see you right here next time on Everything MTG. Peace out.